Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Of course, my name is Nick, and I do host the shenanigans on this channel, of course. And here we do talk toys, pop culture, and general nerddom of all kinds. And sometimes, just sometimes, we talk a little shit about other subjects when I have an event we can go to and film. Today what we're going to do is a second review. Yep, you get two in one weekend. I don't know if you feel privileged from that, but if you like this kind of content, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell so you know when I post more. That way you can get in on the reviews as well and make this community grow. You guys are a hell of a toy community, and it may not seem like much to hit that subscribe button or that like button, but to a creator such as myself, it does mean the world, and it does help the channel grow and get out into the algorithm. And you guys are epic for it. I appreciate every single damn last one of you. Now, that said, what we're going to do today is a second lazy review. It's another Mezco product that I've had just sitting around for a while, and I got it while I quit YouTubing for a minute also. And it is the Mezco 112 Collective Cable figure. And we all know Cable from the X-Men. Of course, it's Nathan Summers. His first appearance was in the Uncanny X-Men 281 back in January 1986. And then he continued as Cable in New Mutants, I think 67, 87 maybe, in March of 1990. Now, it was 67 or 87. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. It may have been 87. Now, as Nathan Summers, he was created by Chris Claremont and Rick Leonardi, and as Cable, he was created by Louise Simonson and Rob Liefeld. Now, I do dig all iterations of Cable, including the misshapen Cable that Rob Liefeld had drawn with the giant, huge arm and the humongous gun. That's how I remember Cable. Of course, Cable's actual name is Nathan Christopher Charles Summers. He's the son of Cyclops and Madeline Pryor. And I don't know if you guys know who Madeline Pryor is. She was the Goblin Queen during the Inferno storyline, and she's a clone of Jean Grey. Now, when Cable was younger, he got infected with a techno-organic virus, and he had to be sent to the future and cared for by a lady named Oskany to treat this so he didn't die. Now, he did come back to our timeline years before his birth, and he's operated here ever since. And, of course, he's Deadpool's best buddy. And in 2018, we got the Josh Brolin version of Cable in the Deadpool film, in Deadpool 2. And I like that version as well. And it's like I said, of course, he's Deadpool's best buddy. And I could rattle on about Cable and the X-Men all day because it's some of my favorite Marvel stories. But let's dive in, punch in, and take a look at Cable. Alright, guys. Here is the box for the Mezco 112 Collective Cable. Now, this is going to be the old-style box, and I know you guys probably haven't seen an old-style slipcover Mezco box in a good minute. So we have the 112 logo with the post-play display at the bottom. You have your Marvel logo at the top. You'll have Cable, of course, and in the middle, a big post-apocalyptic-looking blue X. And if you look down the side, again, you get more blue art with the post-apocalyptic X. This still has the plastic on the outside of it. I haven't removed it at all. And on the back, of course, you're going to get some decent shots of the figure itself. Now, these shots actually don't do the figure justice, strangely enough. The figure looks 1,000 times better out of the box than it does in these pictures. The only thing I'm going to say that I have a severe amount of disappointment about is this gun here. It's really a pain in the ass when it depicts something as looking like it's lit up when it doesn't light up. The only thing that lights up is the actual figure itself, and I'll show you the light up feature there with that as we go on. But first, what we're going to do is continue to look at the box. You'll get some long shots of the figure here, some closer shots. Down at the bottom, of course, you'll have the barcode. What I'll do is I'll pause so you guys can get that. But after that, we'll jump and look at the bottom of the box. When you look at the bottom of an older Mezco box, you still get the legalese. It's just spot varnished on there and you can't see it really well. And this is basically the box, guys. Let's move on to accessories. Okay, first we're going to talk about Cable's weaponry that he comes with. And then we'll talk about the other accessories. He does come with this killer grenade launcher here. And the dry brushing and the metal effect on this is insane. I don't know if my camera's doing it justice or not. The grenade drum in it does rotate, which is kind of cool. And you look here and he does have this gnarly knife, which still has the same metal texture. And you look here and he does have 2 clips for this giant ass gun here. Now again, the problem I have with this gun is on the back of the box, it looked like it lit up. Now you can hold it up to light and it looks like it's going to light up, but that's about it. This gun doesn't light up, but the other 2 clips insert into that spot right there. So again, not a bad thing, just it shouldn't have been shown as lit up if it wasn't going to light up. And you get a pistol right here, and that does seat into the holster on Cable's belt. I'll show you that in just a moment as well. But come over to the tray here, and you do get the second head sculpt, which is a more somber, just kind of grumpy Cable. And you get all the extra hands he comes with, and of course he does have the techno-organic virus. The textures and things on this are absolutely amazing. This is one of my favorite detailed figures from Mezco, and of course you get the big honking gloved hand over here for his human side. And it does come with the stand and the standard flight pull for Mezco. He does come with a set of batteries for his light up feature, and I'll show you that here in just a moment as well. And here in tray 2, of course, you'll get the package for the batteries. You'll get the spot and the indentation for the stand. Right here, you'll get the baggie that Mezco usually comes with and the flight pole. I don't think I've ever used a flight pole for a Mezco figure except for Mezco Magneto or Superman because they fly. I'm not sure why they always include these with characters that don't. Let me know in the comments below if you use these stands for anything. And here, of course, are the instructions that show you how to install the batteries. They do go under this panel on his back. You take the 3, you slot them in here. It does have an off and on switch. You have to unscrew that with a very, very tiny screwdriver to do that. And of course, you activate the light up function by doing that. It was super bright in the beginning where I've had the batteries in him for a long time, though it is kind of dim. And I'll show you that here in a moment on the figure. Let's go ahead and take a look at Cable himself. Alright guys, here's Cable out of the box. As you can see, this body has been used by Mezco several times now. It was used for Krigg Warriors and a couple of other characters. But this is probably my favorite armored body they've made. It's big, it's chunky, it seems to work for this character. If you look here, I do have his super grumpy face on him. And if you look, you can see the scar right there over the eye pretty well. And you can see the yellow eye in there, but it's not lit up. The dry brushing and textures on Cable's gray hair are fantastic, as well as the dry brushing and the metal work on the armor itself. You come down here and the holster on the front of the belt's cool. The leather work looks amazing as far as paint and textures go. He does have a cloth jumpsuit on under this, as you can see here. His knife does slot in here as well. And the paintwork on the techno-organic arm is insane. It is fantastic. If you look over here, of course, the paintwork on the glove is awesome. You look down at the boots. The boots are hella chunky, which doesn't lend too well for articulation. It does rock side to side a little bit and up and down, but not very much due to the shin guards. It does have the standard Mezco articulation. What you're looking at here, of course, is the head does rotate all the way around, look up and down, side to side. It can go out to a T-pose. The armor shoulder pads do go up and down a bit. It has double jointed elbows, bicep swivel. It has wrist rock, wrist rotation. It has some ab crunch due to the armor, not much. It can rock side to side a little bit, and it does have waist rotation. I think it has thigh cut under here. I cannot tell. It does have a bit of boot cut, not much. It does have double jointed knees, but it cannot kick its own ass due to the jumpsuit. And on the back, we'll take a look at it as well. On the back, you can see the panel where the switch is for the light up feature. Again, the details and textures on this are fucking fantastic. This is one of my favorite figures that Mezco has made. I did not opt for the PX exclusive version because I didn't really like the way it was dressed. I mean, the traditional X-Men togs are fine, but I'm used to Cable looking gnarly and war-worn, so this Cable is absolutely fantastic. Let's go ahead and check out the light-up feature on this bad boy. To activate the light-up feature on Cable, you have to slide this piece up and off, and there is a off-on switch here. We'll go ahead and flip that. And I'll turn him around so you guys can see. Again, lit up, this guy is insane. The feature is actually fantastic. The batteries in this are dying though, so it may get a little dimmer as time goes by. But again, this is one of my favorite features on any figure, and this, in my mind, is the best Cable figure ever made. Alright, so size comparisons and final score. Of course, Cable is a 112 figure, so he does fit in with your Marvel Legends. Also, here he is next to the Mezco Wolverine Steelbox Edition with the Sentinel base. It does fit in with that very, very well because the shoulder pads and gloves and all the bells and whistles on Wolverine match this. He does also fit in with your older Mezco Deadpool, and any of the X-Men or Marvel characters for that matter, and even the DC characters. You know, this Cable is pretty good. Like I said, 10 out of 10 for me. Quintessential X-Men figure. He even fits in with your wrestling figures. Which, I mean, who the hell doesn't fit in with Danhausen, though? Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with me today and checking out the Mezco 112 Cable figure and another lazy review. Again, I'll probably post a third review today with a newer product that's not a lazy review. But right now, I'm kind of in line of just grabbing random things off my shelf and reviewing them because I've had them forever. And it was during the time I quit YouTubing because of a little bit of depression, things like that. So, and I've always wanted to review some of this stuff. So I'm just getting the reviews out there to post fodder for my channel. If you like toy reviews and you haven't seen some of these things, you might be interested in them. And again, like I said, if I can find a link to this specific figure, I'll leave a link down below for it. I know there are two versions of it. One is the PX exclusive, and he's got a spear, and he's wearing like the traditional yellow and blue X-Men tights. But I like this one a lot better because he's armored, and he reminds me of the Liefeld version of Cable. But that said, guys, again, if you do like this sort of content, please hit the like button, subscribe button, and that notification bell so you know when I post more. That way you know what's coming down the pipe. Now, I am going to set up a Patreon, and on that Patreon, I'm trying to format this. We may do early updates as to what's coming, previews as to what's coming. You could subscribe to that, and I do a lot of art myself. I don't know if you've seen any of my art, but I can actually post more of that content as well. And for a little bit of subscription fee on the Patreon, of course, I can actually send you art prints, or I can send you original artwork, something like that. Or you can get early access to reviews and giveaways and things of that nature. I just have to figure out how Patreon works so we can get that started. That said, guys, I'm going to punch out. I'm going to move on to a third review possibly, and I will see you in a moment.